For those who don't know, I took an extended break from YouTube all throughout 2024. I had mainly just felt burnt out after the big videos I put out in summer of 2023, and I needed some time off. I didn't intend to be gone for so long, but getting back into video making was harder than I thought it would be. There were a lot of projects I had planned that I just didn't have the motivation to finish. Not because I had lost passion for the subject matters, but because there was a time when making these videos just felt so daunting to me. And paired with some personal stuff going on in my life, it really wasn't the best time for me to be making videos. So I stepped back, and I'm glad I did. I think it really helped. Sorry I left you guys in the dark for so long without saying anything, but I am happy to be back. And I hope you guys are looking forward to the new projects I've been cooking up for the rest of this year and beyond. But before we get to those, there's one more thing I need to settle. A video that I've been working on and off, even throughout my extended break from YouTube. A video that has been boiling up inside me for well over a year now. A video so crucial to the core of my channel that I knew I couldn't scrap it. I'm of course talking about... Yes, a review of the most embarrassing Disney failure of all time. And not just any review, a monster-sized review. And when I say monster-sized, I mean feature fucking length. For those who don't know, Wish is a bad movie. A movie that I personally hate more than anything else I've ever reviewed on this channel. And given what I've said about this studio in the past, I feel like this one has been a long time coming. Trust me, I have a lot to say about this movie. But I figure the best way to take down Wish is to do it in one foul swoop. I'm not dedicating 10,000 different videos onto why it's bad, so a review of the movie that's as big as the movie itself seemed like the best option for me. I introduce to you the ultimate Wish review that will put the movie in its grave for good. This is Wish Doesn't Commit. So given this is one of the biggest projects I've ever taken on, I want to give you guys some sneak peeks before the main event. But for those who aren't aware, I have a free Patreon page now dedicated to posting said sneak peeks. If you're a Patreon member, you get access to some pretty meaty content, along with chatting and getting your names listed at the end of my videos, including this one. And for now at least, it's absolutely free, meaning you got nothing to lose by signing up. But I feel like a lot of people aren't aware that I have this. So to encourage more people to become members, I'm going to post a preview of a preview, if you will. I've got one of the segments for the Wish video already done, so I'll post a small chunk of that on here. And if you like what you see and don't want to wait for the full video, you can check out the full segment on my Patreon for absolutely no cost. And this isn't just any segment, it's a segment on my favorite part of the movie, King Magnifico. Join me as I discuss this failure of a villain and what they could have done differently with him. Well, here you go. When analyzing King Magnifico, it feels like the script for his scenes is one of those games where a different writer has to follow up the previous one while not knowing what they wrote, resulting in 10,000 different visions for this character that never ended up getting ironed out. But I think I've managed to narrow it down to 3 characters that King Magnifico switches between throughout the movie. Not transitions, switches. We have compassionate Magnifico with a small hidden layer of controlling tyrant. Then we have the charismatic Magnifico who's obsessed with himself and thinks everyone else should love him. And finally, we have unapologetically vicious Magnifico who is out for blood and shows no remorse or care for anyone. This meme sums it up thusly. On their own, I think any one of these could make for a really fun or really compelling villain that fits into the themes the movie is trying to go for. There's no real right answer as to which one you should choose, but there is certainly a wrong answer.
All of them!
The writers of Wish cannot make up their minds on what they want King Magnifico to be. Or more accurately, the executives cannot make up their minds on what they want King Magnifico to be. Oh, we'll give people the new sinister Disney villain they've been asking for, but we can't make him too scary because that'll scare the kiddies, but we can't make him too complex either because that will require time and effort and we need to focus on the GOAT. So even though I like all 3 versions of Magnifico, the way they're all haphazardly stapled together and put into this movie's non-existent story really prevents me from actually calling him a good villain. So towards the beginning of the movie, Asha comes in for a job interview and acts all adorkable, haha funny. This is where we meet Magnifico, who is in his falsely nice and caring persona. He's very calm with Asha, he doesn't get annoyed at her tomfoolery. He even opens up to her about his backstory and the reason he built this city in the first place. His family was murdered and his homeland was destroyed, and he didn't want anyone else to live through the pain that he did. So this guy seems pretty genuine and likable. We have reason to feel for him, and he feels like an actual person with a traumatic past and actual motivations. Then after opening up, he takes Asha into his glass ball emporium where he keeps the wishes of its citizens. The two then sing a very awkward song, which we're gonna get to. Good lord, how long is this video? Afterwards, Asha expresses how she wants her grandfather's wish to be granted because that's her only character trait, and she asks Magnifico to make it happen. Grandpa's wish is that he wants to make something that will inspire the people of Rosas, and the king thinks this is too vague and that it might turn out negatively for the kingdom. And I'm just thinking, okay, yeah, this is a bit silly on his part, but it does make sense why Magnifico is so skeptical given what he's been through and how he wouldn't want to take chances on putting anyone in harm's way. This is an interesting conflict for what is shaping up to be an interesting character, and it's a pretty solid introductory scene, all things considered. At least that's what I would be saying if the movie didn't decide to throw everything established in this scene in the garbage. That night, Starman comes down from the sky and Magnifico senses the force or something and feels threatened. So the next day, he calls the kingdom to an assembly and tries to find out who's responsible. Even though he should have figured out that it probably has something to do with the girl who was complaining to him yesterday and is mysteriously not present at this assembly, but I digress. So everyone starts asking him questions about how he handles the wishes and why he rarely grants them. Then they start begging him for another wish ceremony even though they just had one yesterday, and he gets pissed. Now, this seems pretty in line with what we saw in Magnifico's first scene. He cares about these people and their safety, but he has a hidden sense of anger stemming from how people don't see eye to eye with him. But then all of that is flushed away in the very next scene where he starts singing his signature villain song. Not only is this the least intimidating and dopiest villain song ever written, but it straight up does not fit with what has been established for his character thus far. All of a sudden, the more calm and collected Magnifico with a hidden layer of spite has turned into petty, self-absorbed pretty boy who loves himself and nothing else. I mean, just listen to these lyrics.
I can't help it if mirrors love my face. You're cute and strong and bold and brave. Thanks. Keep the name, I'm magnificent.
In the span of literally 2 seconds, he has switched character types entirely. It would be more in line with what the previous scene established if the song leaned more into its title and focused on how Magnifico doesn't feel like he's respected or understood by his people. But if that was the song's intention, it gets drowned out by the upbeat melody and verse lyrics that just amount to Magnifico is love, Magnifico is life, I'm hot. These feel like two completely different characters, and as a result, I can't take either of them seriously. And as if that wasn't bad enough, they then bring in character type number 3 of super evil Magnifico who has no heart at all. Towards the end of the song, he starts yelling and murdering wooden dolls. Paired with the shift in color palette, they're clearly trying to make him look more horrifyingly sinister. But it doesn't work because it also doesn't fit with this stupid ass song or his other two personalities. Sure, he had a hint of anger underneath the surface when we first saw him, but it wasn't to this level, nor did anything significant happen to escalate it to said level. From this point forward, Magnifico is just sort of stuck in his ultra evil phase with hints of the egotistical one. He starts fooling around with magic and destroying the wishes of some NPCs, even though it's clear he was at least protecting them before. But now he's just destroying them without remorse for some reason, I guess. Then he goes insane and uses green fart magic to chain people to the ground so he can... Actually, that's kind of it. What was his plan in doing this exactly? Hey, remember when this guy was a sympathetic character who had a backstory and emotional trauma? These people clearly don't, considering he's now presented as an irredeemable monster with no remorse for anybody, including his own wife. You can't have this singular character be 20 different types of villains. And that's the preview. Hope you guys enjoyed. But if you did, remember that there's more. You can check out the full 13-minute long segment on my Patreon for free. All you need to do is become a member. Take advantage of this amazing deal and get your King Magnifico goodness. And as for the release date of the full video for everyone to see, well, stay tuned. See you guys in the next one.
My life be like